Right, Dr. Jayanti Datta, who's a psychologist, is with us here on Mirror Now. Many thanks, ma'am, for joining us here on Mirror Now. My first question to you, of course, is about this particular teen who was forced to jump out of a speeding vehicle to avert a molestation attempt. Ma'am, she suffered multiple head injuries, but she's recovered. Now, tell us about the post-recovery. What sort of impact did this sort of a case have on her? She is just a teenage girl who was a NEET aspiring NEET student. So, tell us about the psychological, the emotional side of things.
It's so mind-boggling how people can be so cruel. See, somebody you were injuring, you were disowning, and this child, we are happy to hear that she is recovered fully. But what interviews you were showing that this is becoming so, it's a kind of a mindless, senseless, remorseless city we are in. And when I listen to, I've been involved very actively with couple of cases here in where the girls have been brutalized. And I'm shocked to hear every time when we go for the media, we hear that there is zero tolerance for all these crimes, and we are going to be protective. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao has been the thing which Mr. Modi started. He has taken so many steps to protect the women, but still the women are very vulnerable. What we are listening to now, you see, the people have become totally kind of a reluctant to help you. They don't mind. I have seen cases where the people would gather and do the video, but would not render you the help. And the Shraddha case also is one of the examples. You see what has been happening here. At least she was taken to the hospital, but the person who hits you somehow has a mindset that I can get away with. This is what is the most shocking thing of any capital or any metropole cities, where you can do anything, you can take any barbaric kind of a step, and you will go ahead, you will get away with it. My worry is, as a psychologist, that what message are we giving to the masses, especially to the perpetrators? Everybody feels you can do it, you can get away with it. Case year after year chalta rahega. You see, Bayakant, we had to fight tooth and nail for 8 years. It's no joke. The mother who lost the child, you see, for Shraddha, again, you were saying we don't have evidences. I don't understand. What more evidences do you need? You see, when this girl comes back to the community, she would have a lifelong battle to adjust. Not only she would be having problems, the medical complications, the rehabilitation techniques, rehabilitation programs which she will have to go through. She would have a psychic problem. Psyche will be so thwarted. She would be scared of traveling. She will be scared of having any relationship. We are kind of deforming the whole generation this way. When you hesitate, if we are brutalizing somebody and the person is not sure that the perpetrator is caught and will be punished, there will be a deterrent punishment. We are not bothered about that, it seems. Our legal system, unfortunately, is probably fully equipped. But I think, somebody has to come forward and see that it works as a deterrent. When you don't punish these kind of perpetrator, you leave them loose because you say, we don't have enough evidences. You send a very strong message to these perpetrators roaming around in the city and in the community that, yes, you can do this. With these kind of things, the message goes, you can hit the person on the road and get away. You can kill the person, chop off the body, strewn it all over, and, wipe up the whole evidences, and you can get scot-free, which is very unfortunate.
Ma'am, if you could tell us...
Let them lose.
Right. Ma'am, if you could tell us how we as a society, all the family members and friends of the victim, help her in dealing with the trauma.
family should be forthcoming. They should always communicate instead of, saying, why did you go out at this hour? Why did you do this? Now the child is involved. I think the family plays a big role, coming out in the front and saying, yes, we are with you. We will support you. Whatever has happened, sometimes family also feels insecure. Ki we asked you not to go ahead, but you did. But here in such cases, families help paramount. And you
Right.
need that social, I remember, you need that
Right,
social
ma'am.
support. I
Right,
remember
right.
one
It is very essential to have that kind of social support also in terms of these cases. Many thanks, ma'am, for joining us here on the broadcast.